What's up, YouTube? It's good to be back, y'all. I took a little hiatus. I wasn't liking how my content and video quality was coming out with this GoPro, especially when I do videos down here in the tackle layer. It's just really blurry. It's a Hero 7 Silver, so not even the black. You can't take a battery out of it. There's no like external battery to like swap out. Settings, there's hardly any settings on it. So I really can't mess around with like resolution, frames, all that. I can't do much. And if you can, someone let me know if I can, because I've tried everything. It gets the job done. I'm gonna use it on my kayak with a mount, but we're looking to upgrade. That's not what this video is about. This video is a rod review of my go-to all-purpose favorite rod I've been using for like over a full year now. So let's dive right on in. So today we're talking about the 6th Sense ESP. Medium heavy. It's a 7'2", moderate fast action. That's the key. Moderate fast. Bendy enough for crankbaits, shallow crankbaits, jerk baits. Great with spinner baits, jigs, single hooks. That moderate fast tip just makes this rod money. It's absolute money. Try to give you guys a better look at this. So for starters, the handle. The handle is what grabbed my attention right away. It's not EVA foam, it's not cork, but it's the length. So I grew up using like St. Croix, and they got short. They're like little nubs trying to fling a bait caster. This thing is just the perfect length for me to really lay into a cast if I have to. I can open up the hips better. I sound like a golf instructor. But no, it makes sense. It's a longer handle. I don't feel as restricted. I can really lay into the cast. It handles, I believe it's a 1/4 ounce up to 3/4 ounce, so you can basically throw any hard bait on it. I mean, obviously not giant swim baits, but it handles everything that I've thrown at it perfectly. All right, let's talk some baits that I throw on this baby. Jerk baits, for one. That's what I have tied on right now for this time of the year. Early spring, late winter transition. My water temps are just below 40 degrees still, so suspending jerkbait, working it meticulously slow has been ideal. Another cold water bait, blade bait. It's a 6th Sense slice, and I'm going to show off some 6th Sense baits since it's a 6th Sense rod. But yeah, acts just like a lipless if you think about it. You know, that's what the rod was meant for. So it is a lot of fun to throw blade baits on this thing. I've been throwing this, Binskis, and it just handles them great. You can burn them, you can yo-yo them, you can rip them. While we're speaking of ripping them, here's a lipless 6th Sense Duke, exclusive color. Yeah, this is what the rod was meant for, you know? Cast it out there into the stuff, vegetation, rip it out, burn it back, let it fall, do the same thing. It's that moderate fast tip is really what does it, I think. It's the perfect amount of bend and still fast enough. It's great. It's great. And very sensitive. Like, I can feel every stump, every rock, every branch, vegetation, bite. I can detect it all with this rod. And I'm no rod snob. I will say that right now. I don't own an NRX. I don't have an X-Pride. I don't have a Zodius. I don't have any of these crazy expensive rods. But hey, this is just my personal opinion. And honestly, this thing has handled everything that I've thrown at it a lot better than St. Croix and other rods I've bought that are technique specific. Let's talk about my favorite bait to throw on it. A shallow square bill. I know my lighting's terrible. This is a Crush 50X, one of the best crankbaits you can get. They fill my boxes. There is an up-and-coming company, though, that may replace all my Crush 50Xs. I'm gonna save that for another video because it is coming soon. But yeah, shallow cranking on this rod's great. Again, it's this moderate fast tip. Anything from like 1 to 5 foot, you don't have all that water pressure like a deep or medium diver. The rod's not bent in half because it's not full moderate. It can't really handle that. But shallow cranking, it's great. I mean, the amount of fish I have caught on this exact setup, 12-pound fluorocarbon, Corrado MGL, 7-to-4 ratio on this ESP. This is my shallow cranking setup. Like, what else we got? Bladed jigs. It will handle a bladed jig or a chatterbait, whatever you guys want to call them. I call them bladed jigs. It will handle these things perfectly. The thump of the blade, you can feel like every thump as you're cranking along. It's perfect. Right, here's a motion seeker paired up with a Beast Coast blade runner. Not just a bladed jig. It'll handle a football jig or a skipping jig just fine as well. As long as you're not chucking it into like super heavy cover. I mean, it's got the moderate fast and it's a medium heavy power, so you can set the hook and get them away from the cover fast enough, but I'd rather a fast tip and a heavy rod, or I use a St. Croix medium heavy. St. Croix kind of goes up. Like Dobbins kind of goes down when they say it's like a medium heavy. It's more like a medium. St. Croix's medium heavy is more like a heavy. So it works just fine for me. But yeah, it can handle jigs. If you're going bank beating or like just pond hopping, you want to bring one setup with you, this is the setup I'm bringing. Another bait it was meant for, last but not least, a swim jig. A swim jig. I know I have fluorocarbon on right now, but I plan on putting some 50-pound Power Pro on my Tranx 150 for my frog rod, and I'll probably be throwing a swim jig here in New Jersey way before I throw a frog. So I'm probably going to swap out my Corrado for the Tranx and throw some swim jigs this early spring too, especially the way my lakes get. So grassy. It's like you got to. But yeah, there you have it. That's basically, I mean, it can handle obviously a lot. I've Texas rigged off this rod. I've thrown small top waters. Don't throw top water on fluorocarbon. You're going to have a bad day. But yeah, I've thrown small top waters on it. Obviously, you can't throw a giant swim bait on it, but it does basically everything I need it to do. Again, if I'm going pond hopping and I'm only bringing a rod or two, this is definitely one of the rods I'm bringing. So yeah, I might be a little biased. I may be a little fanboy for 6 cents, but honest review, honest opinion, this is a great all-purpose rod. If you're going to use it for swim jigs, lipless, or shallow cranks, jerk baits, it's right up your alley. I really, really recommend checking them out. It's the ESP by 6 cents. This is the 7.2, medium heavy, moderate fast. Moderate fast, that's key. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video, guys. I hope I was somewhat of a help to anyone out there. I really appreciate everyone who's been checking out the channel, giving me support. You guys keep me going, keep me grinding. It's been a tough winter, but hey, we're still out there, we're still trying, and hopefully 2023, we upgrade the GoPro and these videos get a whole lot better. Thanks guys, tight lines. I'll see y'all on the water.